Artinya anu, watching this guy growing up, like what he was in from. Imagine that if you are meeting Jaden Smith's life, Christian, and you are pushing your respective country, you are low, you are how now.
Tim, hi, how are you?
Atingan.
Hello, Tim. Hello.
Yes, sir.
So, Wangu, why didn't you tell me all along that I'm talking to myself? Wangu.
So you were muted. I thought you are doing something.
No.
You were
At
muted.
times, okay, it's okay. Okay, thank you. What I was saying, I'm just doing this because we don't have time right now. I'm seeing that 2 weeks from now we'll be writing. So if we don't do, because we still have 87, we still have some for us to finish topic 1 and 2, we have 87 slides. So we may not actually be in a position to finish. So I posted yesterday, the day before yesterday, was it on Friday? I posted a comprehensive detailed on the forfeiture there, and I did that. But today, let me just explain something. I just want to talk about the share repurchase. So to repurchase, you are buying back. Repurchasing simply mean buying back. So the company is now buying back its shares. So buying back shares. So if you are buying back shares, you are saying, my friend, you have been investing in us, but now we need our shares. And remember the definition of shares. We say it is a unit where we prescribe or where we assign a value. Now the shareholder paid for those shares. So the company is now saying, my friend, here's your money, give us back our share. So that's what we call buying back. So it can actually do that when it sees that it has enough capital. It can do that when it is having enough capital. Just like there are some small boys who want they will be in a relationship with the old moms, those sugar moms, for them to be assisted, and until once they accumulate some wealth from this sugar mom will be left alone. So in other words, that's what this company is doing. It says, no, we can actually stay on our own, my friend. Here is your money, give us our shares. So it can do that in 2 ways. One, once it buys those shares back, it can keep them as treasury, or else it can as investment. So treasury or investment, or it can just cancel them to say, no, we don't have these shares at all. So there are certain accounting entries that are to be followed when you do this. The first one is that when shares repurchased and cancelled by the company, so it's a company now, that's the condition number one. Company decided to buy back shares and they cancel them. So in this case, if the shares are bought at a higher price than the carrying amount, the double entry will be as follows. So let me just explain something here. Suppose we have an investor called A. He was the investor. He bought these shares from us. It say 30 puller. Then we are now deciding now to buy them back, and we are buying them back at 35 puller. Now, in other words, we are buying them back at 35 puller, which means the purchase price is less than the buyback price. So this is a repurchase price. This is the par value. The original money that he pays as he was buying those shares. So in this case, there's a loss. There's a loss. In other words, we incurred a loss here. Loss. So when this loss happens, what do? We debit slated shares, and we credit loss on share repurchase. We then credit our cash. That's the double entry here. That's the double entry. If there is a loss, we debit slated shares. We credit loss on share repurchases. We also credit our cash. But if there is a profit now on share, what do we do when there is a profit on share? So when there is a profit on repurchase, it arises only when the par value is greater than the buyback price. In other words, suppose you buy from Choppies or from someone at 15 puller, for example. Someone bought from you at 15 puller. Bought a cell phone from you at 15 puller. But now you want to buy back your cell phone. Said, my friend, now I need my cell phone. Take your money. Then that person say, my friend, now can you give me, because I have been using this one, can you give me 10 puller? Which means to us, we are saving, because remember, he pays at 15, but we are now giving back, buying at 10 puller. So we are again having an advantage of 5 puller. To us, it's a gain. That's a profit. So when this gain happens, it only arises when par value is greater than buyback price. So when this happens, what do? We debit slated share, we credit share premium. So in other words, the 5 is now the premium. So we credit share premium, then we credit cash. Why cash? Because we are paying money back to what? To the investors. So we are paying what you call it? We are paying back to the what? We are giving back money to the shareholders. Okay. Now, what will happen when the shares? Then, secondly, a company can buy back those shares and hold them as investment. What will happen when that happens? When the company decides to hold the shares as investment, that's what you call treasury shares. So the double entry for this is that we debit investment, then we debit loss on share repurchases, then we credit cash. May I repeat? We debit investment in own shares, that is treasury shares. We also credit loss on share, then we also debit credit cash. But the net effect of this one, it will reduce the equity in statement of changes. That's the effect of this. So please take note of this. I want us to understand. One, just a summary. Let me just summarize this so that we know everything here. So here I'm saying, one, if the company repurchase, if the company repurchase shares and cancel them, this is what normally happens. So one, we debit slated shares and we credit loss on repurchase. Then what do? We also credit cash. Okay, simple. Now, if there's a profit here, if there is profit, what do? We debit slated shares, then we debit also share premium, then we credit cash. Very good. That's what we do. Very good. That's what we do. Okay. Then if the company, so let me just say this is point A. Now, if the company decides to buy back those shares and he held them for investment, these are called treasury shares. Okay. So what do we do if there is? We debit what? We debit investment. That is treasury shares. Then what do? We also debit if there's a loss on repurchase, then we credit our cash because we are going to pay cash. Okay, that's what we are going to do. Full stop. So let's go to this example. I want to just do this example, then I call it a day. So the equity of Chobe Rift Valley Limited was as follows. Slated capital 20,000 shares. So if I say slated capital 20,000, which means each share was going for one puller. So at one puller each, because we are told that the total is 20,000 then. Okay. Then our retained earnings is 40,000. This is what we are told. On 1 January 2024, the company decided to repurchase 1/4 of its shares for 7,000. Okay. Now we want a working here. Let me just take this. We want to do some working here. Very simple. Life is simple like this. If life is simple like this, then everyone is going to enjoy. So working. We are told that remember the slated shares. Oh, sorry. Remember the slated shares here. The slated shares is equals to 20,000. So we have 20,000 shares. But according to this statement, the company decided to repurchase 1/4 of its shares. So 1/4. So we just want to know the total of shares repurchased. Repurchased. Okay. So if I'm going to say 1/4, 1/4 times 20,000, because these are the number of shares. So the company's repurchase is how much? 5,000. So 5,000 shares were repurchased. Okay. Now, but they were repurchased at 7,000. So let's look at the par value of this one, the par value of the 5,000 shares. So what is the par value of the 5,000 shares? The par value of 5,000? Janet? Janet? Oh, okay. Okay. Wangu, you can go ahead. Wangu? What is the quota, the par value of 5,000? Taboka?
Okay.
Hey, what is the par value of 5,000?
They are sold at how much? 7,000 each or
Again, I started to say, but you understand to say par value. Again, par value is the original price. So these shares I said the par value is one puller. This one is what you call the par value. This one is the par value. So what is the par value of 5,000? Okay, so the par value is one puller. So these shares were supposed to be 5,000. So in other words, the investor paid to the company this amount. Is paid that, but the company, I want us to understand, the company pays 7,000 puller to the investor for the same shares. My question is it a profit or it's a loss? Is it a profit or it's a loss? Hello? Okay, so here the par value, the 5,000, which is the original value, is less than the 7,000. The 5,000 is less than the 7,000, which means there is a loss of 2,000 pula. So it's a loss. So when there is a loss, what do? We debit slated shares by 5,000. This is the original. When you say slated shares 5,000, then we are going to debit loss on repurchase. Again at 2,000. 2,000 pula here. Then we are going to credit our cash. So we paid 7,000. So 7,000 here. Very good. That's it. Only. So that's the solution. So, but however, we want also to see the effect of this one in accounts. So we can actually have a table like this. I want this. Okay, I can put it up here. So I'm going to put my ordinary share here. Ordinary share capital here, my retained profit. Because we have this retained profit for 20,000, then 7,000. Okay, so I'm going to say my balance BD here is 20,000. Here balance BD is 40,000. Okay. So so we are now going to do the working now. You'd find out that the total here is 6,000, but there's a repurchase. So in other words, there's a reduction of this one by 5,000. Reduction. And we say, because there is a loss, this loss is going to be accounted in, this loss that we are seeing, this loss is what we call retained earnings. So it's going to be accounted in the retained earnings. So we come here and we say 2,000 here, negative 2,000. Okay, so the closing balance now, by the end of the day, we will have our closing balance. So there's a loss on repurchases. It affects this one, and at the same time, so 5,000, this is 5,000. So all in all, this will be, or if you want, you can just split them. You can just say, well, someone cannot know what's this. So we can just split it and say, let me check this 2,000 and put it here as a loss. So I can say loss on repurchase. On repurchase, okay. Loss on repurchases, okay. So I'm balancing off. This will give me 15,000. This is going to give me 38,000. So the new capital balance now, it will be 43,000, 53,000. Yeah, that's it. So that's it. That's it. Any question?
No, sir.
Yeah, but you have to. What if, just for practice sake, just give me 2 minutes. I want us to make a reflection. Suppose they are saying here it was 4,000. What will be? How are you going to work this one? If it was bought at 4,000, what were you going to do? I hope you are waking. I just give you something like just 2 minutes, 3 minutes just to finish this, because I think it's important to know those to say, okay, fine, these shares now they were sold at 4,000. No, we buy them back at 4,000. What is the resultant effect? Okay, so on this one, let me just say, for the sake of time, let me just help you again. So on this one, I said working. So here we are told that these shares, we now they will now like repurchase on 1 quarter. So what are we going to do if they were for repurchased at 4,000? So it's still we're saying what is the slated value? So the slated value for these shares is 5,000 shares times 1 puller, which is 5,000. So this is the 5,000. Okay. But we bought this repurchase price, repurchase, oh sorry, repurchase price here. So it's gonna be 4,000. Okay, that's the repurchase price, 4,000. Good. So if it is 4,000, what we do? We are actually going to subtract, and there is a profit on a repurchase. Profit on a repurchase is the profit of 1,000. We'll see. We pay less than what they pay us. So this is payment by investor to the company. Payment to the by the company. Yes, and this is payment by the company to the investor. Okay. So that's the reason why. So it gives us a profit, because we are saying things that he bought it. He once bought from us at 5,000, but now we are paying. We are buying the same thing at 4,000. So that's the profit. So how are we going to do? We are going to debit what dated shares. Dated shares 5,000. We're also going to debit share premium. Premium 5,000. 2,000 there. 1,000, sorry. Going to share premium here, share premium. Okay. So That's what we will do. So just to practice this one, I just want to make sure that we finish and we have more ample time to do revision for this. Because we still have many. Remember, this is 56 of 90, so we still have a lot to cover. You see, there are many slides like this, many of them. So we have to cover everything before we test it. So I want to make sure that we cover this maybe in this year, in this week, we'll be in a position to cover all this. I think so. Yeah, I think so. We might be in a position. But anyway, thank you so much for being with me. It was a short notice, or I didn't announce it. Yes, ma'am.
Sir,
Yes, ma'am.
on the slide you said that we credit share premium. Is it a debit or a share or a credit like you wrote?
It should be credited. If I say the debit, it's a mistake. No, here it should be credit, not debit. Thank you for that observation. Thank you.
Okay, sir.
Because actually, by the end of the day, in accounts, actually, you know, the issue of balancing, we have to balance. This one is an issue of balancing. It's a journal entry. This one is a journal entry. So on the debt side, there's 5,000. So for us to balance this 1,000, this 1,000 goes to share premium. So thank you so much for that observation. Thank you.
Okay, sir.
Sure. Okay, thank you, Kusho. Thank you, Glorious. Thank you, Peyo. Thank you, Tifo. And those that have quitted. I think thank you so much for your time that you have with me to discuss this. But likewise, if you have any challenge, this office is yours. And even those who are going to listen to this audio, this office is theirs. They're always and anytime welcome to visit for clarification and elaboration. Kiene, you are joining us as we are now leaving. Thank you so much also for joining. We are now leaving. Just listen to the audio to this presentation. And if you have any challenge, please don't hesitate to come to your office. Thank you. May I just sign out and thank you all. Bye.